we have Nikhil here, as you can see. So he got a 675, which is the 96th percentile. All in all, just let us know your experience. 675, it's showing 96th percentile right now.
Sure, sir. So, sir, I gave the GMAT Focus Edition official exam like 1 or 2 weeks back, and I got
Mm-hmm.
675, that is 96 percentile, and
Right.
it took me around 1.75 or 2 months to prepare for the exam, and
Mm-hmm.
I only followed top coaching material for the entire for all the study material and the test series, mock test and all. And
Right.
in the end, I gave the official GMAT mock exams, which are there in the MBA.com, and then I was good to go for the exam. And then I wrote the official exam, and I also gave the top mocks also, sectional test and full length test also, both.
Right. Right. So,
Yes,
Nikhil,
sir.
what was your preparation like? What were your weak areas? How did you start? And did you take
Yes.
this time frame for your preparation? Did you think you'll do it
Hmm.
longer, I mean, in a longer duration, shorter duration? And were you clear about the focus edition right from the beginning? Tell everything,
Hmm.
whatever your story is, please.
Sure, sir. So whether I was clear about the why I chose to write about the focus edition. So because the early edition was about to get
Yeah, it is going to expire, so right.
so that's why I had around 3 or 4 months, and so I thought about giving the focus edition, and this is the primary reason. And coming from an engineering background, so I was pretty good with quant, and so quant took me a lesser amount of time. I would say the least amount of time to prepare, whereas RC, that is verbal took me a good plethora of time to complete the syllabus and then practice and become well versed in it. And DI also took me somewhat intermediate time, because DI mainly comprises of quant and CR. So whenever one has a good grip on the verbal part and both, and
Hmm.
also the quant part, so DI is not that difficult and won't take that much time, because there
Right,
is
right.
somewhat application of both.
You joined towards the
So
end of September, I think. So somewhere I
yes, sir, towards the end of September or October first week types.
Yeah, you joined around that time. So you took about close to 2 months, a little less than
Yes, sir.
that. Okay,
Close to 2 months, 1.75 to two
I
months.
used to see a lot of emails from you in the beginning about verbal. I think I remember
Yes,
seeing.
yes, sir.
Yeah. So
So
tell me about RC. How did you improve? Because I think RC and CR were your major challenges. So tell
yes, sir.
us.
So RC and CR were my major challenges, and like I had said, quant and DI were not that difficult for me. So preparing for RC, I first I followed only the top study material and top test and all. For preparing RC in the verbal, so I used the first I had gone through all the basic videos and the pre-work and post-work study material, and then I got well versed with the octave. Like I had practiced octave in depth, and it got acquainted. I got acquainted to it, and it got into my subconscious mind along with time with practice. And so using octave and other techniques for RC for inference questions, primary passage questions, if true, and other miscellaneous questions and all. So I followed the entire strategy which was suggested by you in the lectures and the course
Right.
material. So with time and with practice, consistent practice, so I used to solve 2 or 3 passages on a daily basis, whether be in office or if I'm at home. I used to solve somewhat more passages. So with time, I got acquainted to the process, to the procedure, to solving RC questions, and then my accuracy also started improving. Then I put the timer on, and so then using the timer, my speed also got improved,
Mhm.
and my accuracy was also improving day by day. So this was the entire scenario for RC. And talking about CR, so yes, for CR also I followed the entire study material for all types of questions, be it weekend
Mhm.
assumption, strength, and paradox and all, evaluate and all. So the strategies for each type of question, the methodology and the approach to solve each type of questions, I followed strictly that approach. And then initially my CR was a bit weak, because as compared to RC, because RC you can understand the RC, or you can directly go to the location or use the octave.
Mhm.
But in CR there are a different variety of questions, so it took
Right.
me a bit more time to practice the CR questions and get better at each type. And
Right. Right.
so yes. And so with time, I used to practice CR questions like 20, 10 or 20 CR questions at a stretch
Mm-hmm.
on each day of a mixed bag variety with a
Right.
timer. So then my accuracy started improving it, and I was able to apply all the techniques at instantaneously without thinking much, like how should I approach or where to identify the conclusion. It got into my subconscious mind, and with practice, I was able to get better at it.
Right, right, super. I'll ask you more about DI because that is one area that you said also took you some time because it is obviously a combination of math and CR.
Yes,
So, what was the approach you took? Did you just attend the basic sessions? Did you do a lot of practice from the portal? Just take us through the DI part, please.
yes, sure. So for practicing DI, so DI I did after I had completed my quant and I had completed my verbal. So after completing both, I approached the DI section, and for completing the DI section, I took all the sectional tests which are in the top portal,
Mm-hmm.
top mock test portal, and the topic wise test also for those topics which I thought I should practice more, or I was a bit weak at, or which took me more time to solve.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the approach which I followed for DI, mainly practicing different type of questions, practicing more and more, and identifying the errors or the questions which were taking time, and how to uh, solve them in a quick way, or how to just go through them easily.
Right, right.
So
But you
practice
did
is
not do
main reason.
all the mocks and all the sectionals of DI, right? That means no, you did some selective study there. You,
I had completed all the sectional tests, like sectional tests for DI and some of the topic wise tests for DI.
right, right. Okay. So topic wise, you did not do all of them. That is what you say.
Yes,
Okay.
not all. Only some which where I thought I was lagging a bit.
How about data sufficiency? Did you have any challenges in the beginning, or were you making some silly mistakes or falling for traps, or was it straightforward for you?
So data sufficiency is a mix of, say, data sufficiency is more of quant. So if one has a good grip over quant, then uh, identifying the what the question is asking for you from you, and the two options, like the two statements, how can they provide support
Mhm.
to answering that question is what matters in the end. And data sufficiency, I didn't practice that much because I was good at it, and also during the sectional test and the full length test I was going good in data sufficiency questions
Right,
in the
right.
DI.
And
Yes.
Nikhil, what were your mock scores like, and when did you think you were ready for the thing? Because you took focus edition mocks also. So just
Mhm.
wanted to know.
Yes. So after, say, after 1 month and 1 week, say like 3 weeks before my official GMAT exam, I had booked my date. So because one has to set a deadline to it, otherwise the process
Right,
keeps on extending, because you are never perfect for the giving the GMAT exam. So I booked the
right.
date, and then like I had 3 weeks for giving the exam. So then I started giving the sectional test, and the last 2 weeks, or say last 10 days, I gave only the full length test,
Mm-hmm.
the 7 or 8, the full length test that
Right.
top provides, and the
The,
four GMAT focus edition tests that are available on the
right, right.
MBA.com. So to
And
get
were
myself
you
actually,
were you scoring around the same, or were you scoring more? Were you scoring less? Please tell
Mhm.
me that also.
So while giving the top exams, top mock exams, full length exams, I was scoring a bit lesser. Like I was scoring around 625, 575, 600, 625 times, 625 types, because
Mm-hmm.
uh, as I was giving the more and more number of sectional tests and more number of full length tests, the difficulty of the test was also increasing.
Yeah, yeah, we
So I
made
thought,
them like that. Yes,
mm,
yes, yeah.
yes, so I was not
And in
able
the
to.
yeah,
Yes, sir,
in
yes,
the GMAT official mocks, what were your scores like?
yes,
Sorry
sir.
for
So in the,
interrupting. Yeah.
sorry, sir. So in the GMAT official mock exams which I had given from the MBA.com, I was getting a score of, say, 695, 675 types. I was getting that over
Okay, so
there.
something very similar to that you got
Yes,
on the exam day.
very similar to.
Also, describe your exam experience. Did you write the exam at the center or at home, number one?
Mhm.
Which order did you take? And were there any external factors like anxiety or nervousness? And the last thing, did you find anything unusual on the exam day? Yeah, please, all of these one by one.
Yes. Mhm. So I gave the exam at the test center. official test center, and the pattern which I followed right from the start was
Mm.
first quant, then verbal, then 10 minutes break, then DIA.
Okay.
So all the full length test of top and GMAT focus edition mock exams, I have followed this pattern only because I was pretty much sure that in the official exam also I'll be following this pattern. So
Okay.
I got acquainted to this entire process right from the start. There was no
Hmm.
deviation in this process. Like the order of the break
Right.
also didn't
Order.
vary.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Any external factors? Anything? Anxiety,
there
etc.
was
At.
there was no external factor, like there was no issue at the exam center or any online issue or nothing sort of that. And to cope up with the anxiety, nervousness or panic, so I knew that this could be a factor. So that's why I was giving the official test, sectional test and all for the last 2 weeks or three
Hmm.
weeks This was the reason to get myself acquainted to the process, to hold down my nerves, to calm myself on the exam
Right.
day, to simulate the and exactly the situation which would be happening over there on a day-to-day
Right.
basis.
Also, did you
Yes.
find any question unusual in any section? Anything that you felt was like you were not prepared for or whatever? Just tell us.
Mhm. So quant and verbal were almost not almost completely on the similar lines which we
Hmm.
have been taught about, which I had prepared about. Just in the case of DI was a bit lengthier, I would say, or I felt during the exam, and there were
Hmm.
more questions related to on mean, median, and range. Standard
Hmm.
deviation was not there, and
Okay.
so the questions also were not directly straightforward. Like they required, for answering them correctly, they required to calculate different possible cases and situations which
Hmm.
could have happened using,
Right.
and this existed both in DS, data sufficiency, and integrated reasoning.
So it took more
So
time, basically. That is what you're
yes, it
saying.
took more time to solve.
Could you finish the DI section or could you not finish properly? Like, say,
So I couldn't finish the complete. So I had attempted all the questions in the DI, but yes, I couldn't finish them properly, and that's the main point. Like where my score dipped in the official exam. So during the mocks and sectional tests and official mock exams also, I was getting around maximum 2 or 3 questions wrong in the DI. And in the
hmm,
official exam which I gave, I got 9 questions wrong in the DI, and that was due to the last 15 minutes which I crumbled or I couldn't perform due to some of the questions taking a large amount of time.
okay.
And
So
rest
all
of the
of you,
content
yeah, all of you here,
was
there's a lesson for all of us. This has been iterated by three people already. That data insights or whichever section you're doing at the end, there is, I mean, one person said verbal as well, Aditya. So just take care of this aspect that the last minute practice that you do, maybe you do 5 minutes earlier. Let's say 45 minutes, you try to finish everything in 40 minutes so that that panic button is not set in. And this, okay, anything apart from that? Okay, length of the questions according to you and the time required was a little unusual or more than whatever you had practiced. Anything else that you realized in the entire thing, quant verbal? Yeah, you said quant verbal was fine. In the DI part, anything else that you realized? Please tell.
there was not much deviation from the sectional test and all, sectional test and full length test and official mock exams. There was not much deviation, but yes, the just one thing, that statistics question, mean, median, range
Mm.
questions were more in number and required vast not to calculation, but considering vast possibilities for vast situations which could have happened over there
Yeah,
while
all
calculating
possibilities, as we say.
all possibilities.
In
Yes.
data sufficiency also sometimes that can be a big challenge because you have to really look at all the
Yes.
possibilities. Okay, what is the piece of
Totally.
advice you'll say for people who are yet to write the exams, please? Anything that you would like to share, please?
Yes, sir. So there are a few pointers which I would like to suggest for the upcoming students who would be taking the focus edition. So one is that you should get yourself acquainted to the official, to the D day, that is the end
Mhm.
day on which you will be giving the exam. So for this, the you should be practicing the top mock test, full length test especially, and the uh, official GMAT exams, because yes,
Mm.
the top mock test give help you get acquainted to various. possibilities. Like someday you could be solving questions with an ease, but on the other day you are having, like, you are
Mhm.
not able to just finish off the section, or some questions are popping up which are very difficult, or you might not have practiced that much. So the top mock test gets you acquainted with all the different possible situations which could ultimately happen on the exam day. So
Right.
despite of the test being a bit difficult, on being on the difficult side as compared to the official exam, it is must do test to get yourself, so that on the exam day you don't get panic or anxiety,
Mhm.
or you are on a balanced level. And yes,
Right.
before the exam, 3 or 4 days before the exam, you should be doing the official exams, because that's what you will be giving on the D-day. So
Right.
this is the strategy which I have followed, and I would advise the same. And completing the entire study material, like most of the study material from top and video sessions and pre-work, post-work, is more than sufficient. And if you are also able to maintain your error log and recognize the pattern and the weak areas, then you can focus more on those weak areas. So this is a continuous process, and so by following this continuous process, the test taking and getting yourself and keeping your mind calm, getting yourself habitual to the process, so this is more than sufficient. And one following this strategy can do great in the exam.
All right. And one last thing, Nikhil, how many hours could you study every day? Because you said you were working as well, pretty clearly full time.
Mhm.
So how many
Yes.
hours were you able to devote to studying?
So in terms of, so I didn't map my study in terms of hours, like I have to study these many hours a day, because I had clearly defined the targets, like on this day or this week I have to complete this much topic, and these many questions I have to complete on a daily basis of CRRC, DI, Quant, and on this day I have to give this test. And
Hmm.
also I had planned in this way, but uh, giving it an average, so I was studying for about, say, 4 to 5 hours.
Hmm.
Yes,
And 2 months
averagely.
roughly, right? Roughly 2 months, just a
Yes.
little less than 2 months, probably.
Yes,
Okay,
more or
right.
less the same.
Right, right. Okay, Nikhil, thanks. And we'll have a discussion and then we'll take this forward, whether you need to reappear or not. All right.
Sure.
Thanks. Thank you for joining in and very valuable insights, because I do believe that people have to listen to this, that the managing last 15 minutes of your exam is really,
Mhm.
really important. We've heard it from two or three people today itself. So something that I would urge them to really consider very strongly, that really have to
Yes, yes,
manage it till the last minute, till the last distance.
yes.
All right, Nikhil. Thank you for joining in then. Bye
Thank
bye.
you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.